When I met Jaco in 1981 in Boston, a friend of mine who knew him, we were there, and Weather Report were playing in the theatre that night, which we had tickets for, and he said, let's go down in the day and go and meet Jaco. And so we went down there and just as we were going in the theatre, he was walking out, so we said, hey, said hello. What huge fans we were, and we talked about music and all about the gig and all that, and he also sort of said that he was a juggler, keen juggler, and I was as well at the time. So we went out and we got some juggling bags and went on the common and had an afternoon of juggling and all that. Went back and had the sound check and enjoyed the gig and everything, and then bumped into him a few times after that. Yeah, it was phenomenal to meet your hero.
He took his bass, he ripped the frets out because he wanted it to sound like an upright and have that kind of growl. Then the way he played it, his choice of notes, he discovered all these wild harmonics, and literally I think he took that real estate to another level, and every bass player had to be influenced. I know I was very influenced by his playing, and I think everybody wanted to be Jaco at some point.
I think it's impossible to pick up a fretless electric bass and not think of Jaco Pastorius, much the same way you can't pick up an alto saxophone and not think of Charlie Parker. At some point, you either consciously try to avoid that, or you address Charlie Parker without knowing you're addressing Charlie Parker.
It was pretty unheard of at that time, bringing the instrument to the forefront and having a melodic voice with it, but also a real rock and roll attitude. I'll never forget, there was powder all over the stage, and at one point, he actually threw the bass across the stage, and then he got a running start, and he slid into it like American baseball, home plate, sliding into the bass.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a shock when you hear it for the first time. I remember when I actually got hold of that, allegedly, the first session that he did, Little Beaver, is it? And put the album on, and I thought, because it's his first session, I didn't think that he would be developed into his sound. And I just listened to the first track because there's no credits on the thing, and I thought, oh, I wonder if that's him. Oh, it could be in the second track. Oh, I wonder if that's him. And then suddenly, the track that he's on, instantly, you just hear the first note, and it's him on his fretless, fully formed, playing an immaculate groove.
He just really opened up more possibilities on the instrument. The instrument was still very new, and I think his most lasting contribution to the bass is that he looked at the instrument a little differently, and he used things that other people would come across and say, no, I don't need that. He used it like harmonics, you know what I mean? He used them and made music with them, and it was something that other people hadn't considered. And he opened up the possibilities of the bass, and he added to the language. And I think that's the best compliment you can give somebody, is that they add to the language of whatever language they're speaking.
In this tune, Continuum, where it's an E major 7 chord, all the way down here, he starts with the 6th, and plays the 9th right down there on an E chord, and then he plays a Lydian line right down there, playing a B flat against the E chord. Rhythmically, I mean, just switching between these crotchet triplets and the straight 8th notes, syncopated 8th notes, and again, right in the middle of the bar there, and all perfectly diatonic to the chord of the time, so the chord of the moment, so it's E flat minor 7 there. He plays A minor 7 A flat minor 7 arpeggio, and then goes down to D minor 7. So every note, there's not a single note that's out of place. And the use of harmonics as well, which is new. And chords. mean, just in that one number, there's so many things crammed into that are groundbreaking. And every track on his first album was like that.
Jaco's influence was so powerful that a lot of younger post-Jaco guys play so much back pickup and so many short notes. Whereas if you hear a lot of the guys that I mentioned before that I love, they have a lot more articulations in their back pocket, a lot more expressive ways to touch the bass, as Jaco did. For one, he didn't just play short notes all the time. So I think it's important that people realize that articulations and expressive playing and dynamic playing on the electric is very important. It's not like a typewriter where you just kind of bang out things. It's a very beautiful instrument.